Yo, what is good YouTube? I'm Richie Kim, and today I'm going to be bringing you all the performance review on the Jordan Heir. Before we get started, if you all enjoy sneaker content just like this, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button down below, and please hit that bell notification button so you never miss another video just like this one. But anyways, let's get right into it. As always, starting off with the traction, the Jordan Heir features a mainly traditional herringbone traction pattern. It does vary in different areas of the shoe, but I would say overall it is mostly a herringbone traction. And yeah, when it comes to clean courts, this thing does pretty well. You'll have pretty solid bites. I didn't really have any issues on with cleaner courts. If you are playing on mildly dusty to really dusty courts, you might suffer a little bit. I would definitely say this doesn't have the best of stopping power. You will also definitely need to wipe pretty consistently, because if you don't, you will definitely tend to slide a lot more and a lot more frequently. I never had any issues of completely slipping out or anything like that, but just keep in mind that this definitely will require wiping on those dustier courts. But like I already said, overall, I would say that the traction is good or slash okay. On the dustier courts, it's definitely not as nice. You probably will slide to a stop rather than have good hard bites. So moving on to the cushion, the Jordan Heir features a full-length drop-in Cushlon 3.0 midsole, and the cushion in here is very mid, honestly. It's really nothing special. The Cushlon 3.0 is definitely thicker in the heel than in the forefoot. In the heel, I would say you get a little bit of impact protection, maybe adequate impact protection at best. I wouldn't say this is too bouncy or anything like that. In the forefoot, the cushion is very, very thin. So what you're gonna get is a lot of court feel and a lot of responsiveness. And if that's something that you like me, I personally don't mind it. But it would have been nice if this cushion setup, I don't know, just had a little bit something extra, right? But it's not. It is definitely a more responsive type of cushion. So if you're expecting a lot of impact protection or something like that, you're not gonna get it. If you want a lot of bounce out of the forefoot, you're not gonna get that either. You literally feel like you're sitting almost right on top of the ground. So this is definitely, that the cushion setup that's really catered towards very quick and shifty guards. So moving on to the materials, I'm not sure if the materials are gonna differ based off of different colorways, but in this particular colorway, what you're gonna get is a primarily mesh upper. I would say the mesh is pretty nice for the most part. It is definitely thicker feeling. On top of that, you do have these other areas of synthetic leather, and you also have this giant TPU or plastic cage that wraps on the lateral side and on the medial side of the shoe. And yeah, I mean, for the most part, material usage on here is not bad. I think in terms of the performance, it does get the job done very, very well. So I really don't have any complaints there. But I mean, could the materials have been a little bit nicer? Yeah, for sure. But because it does get the job done in terms of the performance, I'm not really gonna complain too much. Moving towards the tongue, you do have this regular mesh tongue, and I would say it is pretty decently padded as well. You also have these wide flat laces. So if you do like to crank down your laces, you won't really feel any irritation on the top of your foot. Overall, material usage on the shoe is pretty decent, but in terms of the performance, it does get the job done just fine. So moving on to the fit, I would say that the Jordan Heir does run true to size. I'm a slightly wide footer, I went true to size, and I really didn't have any issues. Maybe just a very, very slight pressure up in the forefoot area, but it does go away because these materials do break in and they stretch out over time. Maybe not where this plastic cage is, obviously, but where the textile and this synthetic leather is, it does expand a little bit. So my recommendation, try these on in stores if you can, but if not, then I think going true to size is the best bet for most people. Narrow footers, normal footers, slightly wide footers, I think you all can go true to size. Maybe if you have really wide feet, go up a half size, but yeah. General recommendation for most people, true to size is your best bet. Besides that, I thought the overall fit was pretty good in the shoe. I didn't really have any dead space up in the toe box area. The Jordan Heir does feature a half booty upper, so the tongue is connected on the insides, which gives you as close of a one-to-one fit as possible. And overall, I do think that the fit in here was pretty damn good. I felt pretty comfortable and snug, so yeah, I mean, the fit in the Jordan Heir is good. So moving on to the support, I didn't have any issues with the support in the shoe. You do have a heel counter. It is nice and rigid. I didn't have any issues with containment in the heel. I didn't have any heel slippage. The heel lockdown was perfectly fine in the shoe. When it comes to side-to-side movements on the footbed, I didn't have any issues there as well. I think the materials do a great job of making sure your foot is nice and planted on that footbed. And on top of that, I will say that the drop-in midsole does have like a texture to it too, because it is foam, which kind of helps just like enhance like the lockdown on that footbed. But also like the materials do a great job. This whole plastic cage, it really does add support to the shoe. So your foot's not gonna be sliding around. When it comes to hard lateral movements, you're gonna be covered there as well. I would say this is like a decently wide base. You might have like a very, very, very small like outrigger right here that's formed by the outsole, but it is so minimal that, you know, I wouldn't really even consider this an outrigger. But I will say, you're gonna be covered on hard lateral movements. Like I didn't have any issues there. And then as far as torsional rigidity and stability goes, I wouldn't say this is the best in terms of that, but I would say it's more than enough for most people. Maybe if you're like a really, really big person, you might have some issues there, but I would say for majority people, this is gonna be plenty. So yeah, me personally, I didn't have any issues with the support in this shoe. So the Jordan Heir retails for $110, and $110, I mean, honestly, like that's not a terrible price or anything, but I don't really think this shoe like offers anything special. I would probably price this maybe like in the maybe $90 to $100 range, and I think that'd be fair. But I don't know, like it's okay. Like I think this is like a pretty solid performer. But I mean, the traction, like I said, like it will require some wiping on those dustier courts. The cushion in here is really nothing special. It is just a very low to the ground, hard, not too much impact protection, but responsive type of cushion. And the materials, you know, like I said, it could have been a lot better, but I mean, yeah, the materials do a good job in terms of performance. But I don't know, like for $110, is this really worth it? I don't think so. I would rather play in something like the GT Cut Academy or something like that. But I don't know, you know, $110, like it's still not an expensive shoe. So if you wanted like a pretty good performer, go pick up a pair. Let me know if you do have a pair of these and if you like them down in the comments below. Maybe, I don't know, like this is supposed to be created for women. Like this is supposed to be a women's inspired shoe, or like a actual Jordan brand shoe designed for women, but they also have the men's version of it. And maybe that's why it's like $110, like market it towards women. I'm not really sure like what's going on here, but yeah, I mean, it's definitely not a bad shoe, but there's definitely, you know, other shoes that are better around the same price point. So yeah, if you want to pick up a pair of these, I'll leave a link for you down in the description box below. But that's pretty much it for this performance review. If y'all like this video, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button down below, hit that thumbs up button for me, leave a comment, it really does help me out. Check out these videos over here, and that's pretty much it. Until next time, peace.